a dry point from 1984. I believe there were only 10 or 11 proofs printed. One of my personal favorites. That's the bank president on the left, lecturing. Yeah. The chairman of the board on the right. I don't remember where I drew the chairman of the board from. Probably, I guess, perhaps a bookplate photo, magazine photo. I don't remember. The president was drawn from a stuffed rooster I had for several years or longer. I had bought it at a British antique import shop that was on the waterfront in Seattle, or facing the waterfront on Alaskan Way. The store is actually still in business, but a few years ago they moved out to the burbs somewhere like Redmond or wherever. And in 1985, a year after I did the dry point, I was leaving for what was supposed to be a year's studies in Poland, and cartoned it off, shipped it to a college graduate school. When I was in grad school, art classmate friend who was teaching at Stevens College in Columbia, Missouri, art department, and he brought it to the art department, and someone stole it, so I never saw it again. But at least it was preserved in the handful of proofs that were printed of this dry point. I got this proof back from a college friend from Carbondale, Illinois, who I haven't seen in, I'm guessing, since 1978, lives in Albuquerque. Thank you, Dan. And he had bought it in '85 when I was fundraising for leaving for Europe and Poland, and had never framed it. And I asked him about it, and he got a tube and mailed it back to me. Thanks. So there is one proof in a public collection, the Bibliothèque Nationale, French National Library, Prince Cabinet or Prince Department in Paris. And I have to decide where I want this one to end up, perhaps in a American comparable institution. Although I wouldn't, I would be tickled were it to actually be on display somewhere. Perhaps, I don't know where that could be. The Woodland Park Zoo and their offices, for example. As opposed to when works go into art museum collections and library collections, large enough libraries that they have prints collections, like the New York Public Library, which owns an etching and a litho of mine. They're shelved with thousands of other works and rarely seen unless there's actually a thematic exhibit or a recent acquisitions exhibit. The Bibliothèque Nationale actually published the work in a book catalog I have yet to see. I think it's the only example of my work where it was published in a book I've never seen, and where I don't own a copy of it. But I think it was in 1987, maybe 88, I received a letter in French from the library, and they were going to reproduce it in a catalog of recent acquisitions covering several years. So the soft line in the dry point is treasured by dry point aficionados. It's always described as a velvety line. And so one gets a very much smaller edition with a dry point as opposed to a regular etching. There you have it.